Recently, I've been thinking a lot about time. Specifically, I've been thinking about how we spend and use our time and how our relationship with time can become toxic if we allow it to. I feel like this is something we should all consider because it directly impacts our overall sense of satisfaction in most anything we do. I frequently practice yoga in the mornings, guided by Yoga with Adriene, who has become something of a YouTube sensation. Recently, she's released a series of videos called Breathing Room, which I think are brilliant and truly perfect for this particular moment in my life and maybe in the history of the world too. Most of us probably know the phrase breathing room. We often say that we just need some breathing room when we feel a bit boxed in. The thing is, our current culture is all about boxing us in. Everywhere you look, someone is offering all the answers to all your most pressing problems. If only you would do X, Y, and Z every day for the rest of forever, whatever it is that ails you can be eradicated. Rarely do we take the time to consider that these problems we seek to eliminate, these nagging discomforts, these worrisome behavioral patterns and states of mind, are a part of life and being human, and that no matter what we do, they will never be solved. There is no one true path that will lead you to a perfect, painless, and carefree existence. The idea that such a thing should even be sought is indicative of a huge misunderstanding of what it is to be human in the first place, not to mention a huge misunderstanding of what happiness is. Life is not painless. Life is also not joyless. Though if you were some alien visitor watching as we all clamor over all the latest cures, you'd probably think that human life is quite dull, painful, and joyless. The thing is that avoiding the pain only leads to more pain. And that's why all the gurus and all the cures in the world will never deliver the answer to that sense of desperation you just can't shake. I pick up today's post that hangs from a Smithley Watson glass magazine rack and scan the gossip columns. Then my eye catches a story about recent sightings of these creatures that seem to be part bird, part rodent, essentially pigeons with the heads and tails of rats, found deep in the center of Harlem and now making their way steadily toward Midtown. A grainy photograph of one of these things accompanies the article, but experts, the Post assures us, are fairly certain this new breed is a hoax. As usual, this fails to soothe my fear, and it fills me with a nameless dread. That someone out there has wasted the energy and time to think this up, to fake a photograph, and do a half-assed job at that. The thing looks like a fucking Big Mac. And send the photograph into the Post, then for the Post to decide to run the story. Meetings, debates, last-minute temptations to cancel the whole thing. To print the photograph, to have someone write about the photo and interview the experts. Finally, to run the story on page 3 in today's edition and have it discussed over hundreds of thousands of lunches in the city this afternoon. I close the paper and lie back, exhausted. American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis. Does this sound familiar? This novel was released in 1991, but it describes an insidious fear which is even more prevalent today due to our constant internet bombardment with any and every news story designed to instill terror. Because we all know nothing makes better clickbait than fear. No wonder we all feel as though we are constantly filled with a nameless dread. We are being told that the world is unraveling around us and there's no escape. The only escape, apparently, is self-help. After all, Patrick Bateman, the psychotic killer protagonist of American Psycho, exercises like a madman, has designer spa treatments, and expresses his concerns over important political issues of the day. He wants to be a better person. He's an empowered and informed member of society. He's also a soulless psychotic murderer. So what is this nameless dread? It's the thing hidden behind all the irrational fears and shocking headlines. It's the truth buried beneath a million self-help cures. It's the reality of what it means to be a finite human in a world that refuses to bend to your will, no matter how desperately you may wish it to. Can you feel the walls closing in? Is it becoming difficult to breathe? Do you need some breathing room? Time sits with us day in and day out, serving as a constant reminder of our own inevitable demise. And in our modern era of never-ending distraction, we do everything we can to avoid looking it in the face. But all avoidance does is make us feel more trapped and more afraid than we were to begin with. Am I saying we should all throw in the towel and give up on our attempts to be better, fitter, happier people? Absolutely not. I'm saying that we're going about it the wrong way. There are no cures for the human condition. The only reason you understand what joy is because you have felt sadness. Sadness and joy are not two separate and different things. They are two sides of the same coin. Male and female, darkness and light, yin and yang. These things cannot be divorced from each other because the one cannot exist without the other. If you want to feel like you can breathe again, you must be willing to take in the whole breadth of human experience, good and bad. You have to understand that you are enough as you are in this moment right now, because this moment is all you have and ever will have. The future is a figment of your imagination, and the past is dead and buried. Your time is limited, and you cannot do everything you want to do in the short span of your life. You'll have to make sacrifices. Some of those sacrifices will be easy because maybe you never really cared too much for those things anyway. Others will be hard because you'll have to let go of things that really matter to you. Time will not wait for you to decide. This sounds like a scary statement. It sounds like a call to hurriedly get your shit together and make it all magically work. But it's not. It's a call to understand that each moment you've been given is a blessing. So don't waste that blessing fretting over whether you're doing the right thing with your time. Stop and look around you. Take it all in. Allow yourself to feel your feelings and appreciate this moment for what it is, because it doesn't matter what it could have been.